It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to this felicitous event, the formal honoring of faculty colleagues who have a distinguished record of scholarly and/or creative achievements. The three faculty members before you today, here, there, in the chairs, were selected on the basis of the following criteria: a sustained record of scholarship, publications with peer review, presentations, creative achievements, creative works. The scholarly achievements of these faculty members in physics, economics, and mechanical engineering technology reflect their hard work as individuals, but also reflect the support they have received from their colleagues in the department, at the college, and from a wider circle of family and friends. This is an occasion for celebration. Now I'd like to introduce our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Diane Call.
Thank you, Karen. I appreciate this opportunity to welcome the newest members of our awardees for scholarship among our faculty. As Karen's described, this was a peer review process, and I'd like to thank the members of the committee of the chairpeople, who were selected by their chairpeople, to have the hard task of looking at the work of so many talented faculty. And I'd like to thank Dr. David Lieberman, Dr. Paris Vormos, and Dr. Tom Smith, because your work, I'm sure, was very difficult. There were many nominees, but we have three outstanding nominees, and you'll get to hear more about them as we go through this ceremony. In the 1990s, I had the privilege of hearing Dr. Ernie Boyer, who at the time was president of the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching and Learning. And he wrote a seminal book on Scholarship Reconsidered, Priorities of the Professoriate. And at the time, I was enthralled because my discipline was not the sciences, so I paid close attention when Dr. Boyer spoke about the elements of scholarship. And it prompted a great deal of discussion, because we use this, as you may have read among our community dialogues of the last few weeks. It does prompt spirited discussion as to the evaluation of scholarship. It's something I think we do pretty well here. The discussions, though, across the country went forward, and there were a number of things decided. It was certainly prompted by an interest in transparency and the missions and values of an institution, and changes in the perspectives of scholarship held nationally and certainly within an institution. Dr. Boyer posed the question: is it possible to define the work of faculty in ways that reflect more realistically the full range of academic and civic mandates? And in his book in 1990, he answered the question by proposing that the work of the professoriate might be thought of as having four separate yet overlapping functions. Recently, a number of institutions, including research institutions, have discussed and adopted a wider definition of scholarship, expanding the scope originally presented by Dr. Boyer. So it's now common for scholarship to be represented as the scholarship of discovery, the scholarship of integration, the scholarship of teaching and learning, and the scholarship of creative artistry, which many schools have now embraced. And this definition provides an opportunity for creative scholarly achievement across the university's missions and functions, and it provides a common conceptual ground for evaluating scholarly achievement across the sciences, arts, and the technologies. It also affirms that scholarship takes place throughout society and not just in our universities. Common to all these definitions is the view that scholarship creates something new that is validated and communicated. Queensborough's faculty engage in scholarship to advance their understanding of the world and to bring new discoveries into their classrooms. And certainly organizations beyond our campus have recognized the high quality of our faculty scholarship. And while teaching remains our central responsibility, faculty scholarship models lifelong learning for our students, while keeping faculty members immersed in the joy of discovery and connected to the broader conversations of their academic disciplines. Some faculty conduct research and publish with colleagues. Some address disciplinary problems as a unique contribution to discussions in the wider academy. And some integrate new knowledge into governmental policies and social programs to serve humanity. Regardless of faculty members' approach or context, their dedication to scholarship leads to a common outcome. It's the discovery and synthesis of knowledge to serve their disciplines, pedagogy, academia, the world, and those in that world. Promotion and tenure criteria are framed by contractual agreements, but ideally and more significantly, they should evolve from more extensive discussions and deliberations. And given our lively discussions of the last few weeks, we certainly pledge a forum to organize with our governance leaders conversations regarding the facts and the myths and the realities discussed openly so that we can have a common understanding and appreciation of criteria and the process to advance professionally at Queensborough. And we can also come together with some strategies to support the mentorship of faculty to achieve these goals. So all of you as scholars join me in honoring our special honorees today. And I am very privileged to be among you. Dr. Tavshon, Dr. Kafdallah, Dr. James Valentino. And I'd like for our faculty representatives in academic affairs, they're your colleagues as well, to now take us through some of the unique accomplishments of our honorees. It's a privilege to be with each of you. I thank you for that. Events such as this are really an acknowledgement of the incredible work of our community, our faculty in particular in this instance. And we've been led by a president who has enormous respect and zest for not just dialogue but achievement. And he is really quite brave in many cases in going forward and calling for, let's talk about this out loud. But he's led so many of our traditions over the last 10 years, and this is one of them. It's one of the more amazing events that a community college can hold. And I'd like to introduce Dr. Marti to once again give us some words of wisdom.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. It seems like yesterday that we started talking about how we would celebrate faculty at this institution. And the players are different. And I remember very clearly indicating that we would have to have some criteria that was developed by the Personnel and Budget Committee of the college, which is composed of all of the chairs of the departments, and that it had to be a committee of chairs that would do that. But this whole thing was predicated on, frankly, the work of one person, and I'm going to embarrass her. Sheena Gillespie came to my office very early in my tenure, and she said to me that I needed to listen to the students, to create a college within a college. Do you remember that, Sheena?
Yes, I do.
And to understand that at this institution we had the opportunity to do something great. And that was to create a place where we would celebrate the art and the science of teaching and learning. We would nurture the growth of the individual student in a supportive environment. And we would create an environment where we would have mutual respect and understanding among all constituencies. Now, those are not Sheena's words, those were my words. But at that meeting, there was a confluence of ideas, and we started this whole process. Frankly, that's the origin of the freshman academies. That's where we started talking about how we could find a way in which we could create cohorts of students that would be able to work with and develop. But why am I telling you this? Why am I telling you this in the time that we're celebrating the accomplishments of faculty scholarship? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I really believe that the scholarship of our institution, the discipline of our institution, is rooted in the dissemination of information, in teaching, in being able to take the knowledge that either we or others have created and impart that knowledge to the people who are in our classroom. So that, combined with the fact that the people who are in our classroom are very varied, the diversity of abilities, the diversity of backgrounds, the diversity of countries, the diversity of ages, the diversity of economic conditions, that very diverse environment tests our abilities to be able to disseminate knowledge in an appropriate way. And therein lies the most difficult elements of teaching, and how you're able to do that in a way that you are able to effectively translate the knowledge. And I submit to you that the only way that one can do that really effectively is if you have been involved in the creation and the advancement of knowledge yourself. So that whether it be in the arts, whether it be in the sciences, whether it be in the literature, you are able to understand the process of creation so that you can then effectively implement the process of dissemination. So scholarship is extremely important in any faculty. But at the same time, we have a system, and it's not just CUNY, I'm talking about the community college system in the nation, that really places an undue burden on the people who are in the classroom. It's sort of an in-between. It's not a research one institution. It's not a place where you teach one course a year and the rest of the time is dedicated to research. And it's not a place where you're not required to do research. You're in fact required to do so. So it's sort of like, how can you put into the round hole of 27 hours of teaching the square peg of college research and scholarship? So as we go forward in the continued development of our institution, it is extremely imperative that we are able to recognize those individuals who somehow are able to shine through, somehow are able to put that square peg in that round hole, and not only be excellent faculty members, and by excellent faculty members I mean excellent teachers, excellent communicators of information, but also are able to be participants in the advancement of discipline, and also are able to be involved in college work. It takes a whole person, it takes a very outstanding citizen of an academic community to be able to shine through and be that square peg on that round hole. So tonight what we're doing is we're celebrating 3 of those individuals. You have selected. Administration had nothing to do with it. We just served as servants, which is really our appropriate role in something like this. And we provided the mechanism that was necessary for you to vote, to establish the criteria, and to then select those among you who you believe are individuals that are worthy of celebration. So I sit with you as member of this academy. I sit with you in humility, because I can guarantee you that I would not be able to meet the criteria of that square peg on that hole. But I sit with you in celebration of the great work that you have done, and I look forward to your presentation and to your remarks. Thank you very much.
I would like to introduce to you the first of our recipients, Dr. Tak David Chung. When Dr. Tak David Chung, professor of physics, is asked by high school students why they should attend Queensborough Community College, he describes the personalized academic attention and the faculty's commitment to student success. Originally from Hong Kong, Dr. Chung came to the United States to raise a family. He received his doctorate in physics from the University of Illinois in Chicago, and began his career as a physicist at Phillips and DuPont Optical Company prior to joining Queensborough in 1989. In his 20-plus years at Queensborough, he has worked on multiple awards and grants in the physics department, including the recent National Science Foundation Research Experience for Undergraduates. Queensborough was the first community college in the country to host the Student Research Experience for Undergraduates research projects. He has co-authored multiple articles in physics, space science, image science, and science education, and serves as a member of the doctoral faculty at the City University of New York Graduate Center. Dr. Chung is fond of quoting B.F. Skinner to his students. Education is what survives when what has been learned has been forgotten. Yeah. He constantly encourages his astronomy and physics students to learn with modern tools and to see the unseen. Dr. Chung is known for incorporating innovative methods and using real-life examples to demonstrate complicated concepts when teaching. In astronomy, he uses images of the Hubble Space Telescope and the Infrared Telescope in Chile to show students that some things in the universe are invisible to the naked eye but are still there. In his physics class, Dr. Chung uses spreadsheet technology to allow his students to visualize the propagation of sound and other principles. Currently, he assists Dr. David Lieberman, professor and chairperson of the physics department, with departmental initiatives, including the Google Project Spectrum, to teach scientific methodology to autistic students. Dr. Chung insists that he is quite a distance away from receiving the kind of national recognition for excellence in teaching that some Queensborough professors have received over the years. He adds that he is humbled by the Excellence in Faculty Scholarship Award and is honored for the opportunity to serve and learn at Queensborough. Okay. I would like to take this opportunity to say a few words about him, being also from the physics department. When I first came here, I kind of met Tak, yes, I'm going to say it, and he was really, I mean, as a new faculty, Tak was really a very helpful individual. It was a new school. I really didn't know what to expect. My research I wasn't sure if I was going to continue it, but he has a habit of really helping the new faculty and giving them projects and bringing them into the work that he's doing. And he's done that with a lot of new faculty, not only in the physics department, but also in the biology, the chemistry, and the social sciences department. So if there's one thing that Tak Chung is known for, is for his, helping other faculty regardless of what department you're on. And we'd like to thank you for that, Tak.
I was afraid of this moment. And I, of course, this morning driving in, I prepare a few minutes of talk. And then, of course, in this round of good food and laughter, I forget everything already. And so, anyway, let me try to remember what I mean to say. First of all, dear colleagues, I guess I thank you for selecting me as a role model. I would like to thank the selection committee and also the administration for supporting such an event. And of course, you realize that that 2 minutes self-advertisement was what I wrote myself, and then they threatened me if I don't write it, they write it for me. So I better do it myself. But anyway, the college for the last week or so have all this concern about promotion and things like that. So I would like to add my 2 pennies in the following way, that failure is the mother of success. So the record shows that we have obtained some $3 million for Queensborough. So the logic tells us that we must have submitted some $50 million and lost $12 million opportunities. So my bad. Anyway, my point is that there are rooms for improvement, and I hope that everybody continue to work together under the leadership of President Marti for a better Queensborough for our students.
Now that I'm up here, I'd like to say a few words about Kath Dola, who I also had the pleasure to work with. We worked together. I first met Kath when we were working on a community college on a CUNY collaborative grant proposal, which got funded, by the way. We were studying the effects something called El Nino has on the economy of certain countries in the Equatorial Pacific region. So we were combining my field, which is climate change, with his field, which is economics. And originally it was a lot of people were a little skeptical about the project itself because it was multidisciplinary. But I got an opportunity to work with Kath, and we eventually became friends. And I thought the project was very successful. During the time we were working together, I got to know Kath, and he has very insightful about the economics of pretty much the whole world. His specialty is the Eastern Asia area, especially Bangladesh. But he was knowledgeable about what's going on in the whole world. And during our meetings together, we would talk about things like eliminating world poverty and things like that. So even though this is it's a great prize, I'm sure we will also expect a lot of great things from Kath in the future. Okay, so Artie, would you like to introduce him, please?
Thank you, Paul. Oh, sorry. Dr. Kath Dawla, a native of Bangladesh, came to the United States in 1985, where he earned 2 master's degrees in economics and public administration and a doctorate in international political economy, all from the University of Southern California. Dr. Dawla began his academic career in 1991 as assistant professor of economics and government with the State University of New York at Canton College. From 1997 to 2000, he worked for the World Bank and the United Nations as a policy specialist advisor focusing on South Asian countries. In 2002, he returned to the United States as a visiting scholar at Columbia University after a detour in Japan as a Japan Foundation Fellow and visiting professor at the Otoru University of Commerce. Dr. Dawla joined Queensborough Community College in 2003 as assistant professor of economics, and in 2008 he was awarded tenure and associate professorship. In 2006, the college honored him as a speaker at the Presidential Lecture Series. He has served as chair of the Academic Senate Committee on Scholarships and Awards, and as director of the Center for Economics Education. He also served as head Division of Global Cooperation for the CUNY Center for Environmental Studies at City College. His research has evolved from the crises of transition in formerly socialist countries in the early 1990s to deregulation and privatization in developing economies in the mid-1990s. Since then, he has been involved in international trade and investment and cross-border labor mobility, especially in the context of the World Trade Organization. He also made numerous presentations around the world in such countries as Canada, China, India, Japan, Nepal, Russia, Switzerland, and Thailand. Dr. Dowlah has published several books, including Backwaters of Global Prosperity, Prager, 2004, and Bangladesh Political Economy, The Pathways to Nationhood and the Formative Years, published by Amazon in 2009. Dr. Dowlah has taught economics, political science, and business administration at graduate, undergraduate, and postgraduate levels at several universities in America, Japan, and Bangladesh. He has worked in consulting capacities for several international organizations, including the World Bank, United Nations Development Program, and the United Nations World Food Program. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Kath Dowlah.
Thank you, Michelle, for very, outstanding introduction. I don't deserve any of those. And Paul, thank you very much for taking time to recollect the memories when we worked together. It is an honor and privilege and a distinctive honor to be here and to accept this award from this college. I must thank my departmental colleagues for nominating me. I don't want to be disrespectful to others, but our department itself has many faculties who deserve it better than me. So I thank my department, my chair of my department for selecting me, nominating me, and the college selection committee for selecting me and recommending my name to the college administration, and finally to the college administration and Dr. Marty for selecting me for this award. It is a distinctive privilege, a distinctive honor. I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I cherish this memory. This college has done everything for me. Okay, let me control my emotion. I was appointed assistant professor in 2003, and in 2006 I was selected for presidential speech, to make presidential speech, and thank you, Dr. Marty, for that. And I was promoted to associate professor position by Dr. Marty again, appointed by him again, and now selected for this award by Dr. Marty again. Thank you so much, Dr. Marty, for doing everything for me. And I am saying this to you guys, that I'll be more humble from now on. Thank you very much.
I must correct you, though. I really must correct you. Remember what I said. This is not my appointment. This is not my... I endorse it, and I'm fully behind it. But this is your peers recognizing your excellence. And this was done by a committee of the chairs of the departments. So as much as I would very much like to give you the award, it's not mine to give.
Dr. James Valentino, who holds baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral degrees from the Polytechnic University of New York, has been professor and chair of the Mechanical Engineering Technology and Design Drafting Department at Queensborough Community College for more than 30 years. In the fall of 1981, Dr. Valentino applied for and was awarded Valley Electric Association, or VEA, funding for Queensborough in the amount of $250,000 for the establishment of the first computer-aided design, or CAD, facility in the New York City area. The following year, he secured VEA funding, or VEA funding, for an additional $250,000 to upgrade Queensborough's CAD laboratory. He also arranged for an equipment donation from Computer Vision Corporation for a completely new designer VCAD system with hardware values in excess of $750,000. During this time period, he created the basic and advanced CAD courses and wrote the course texts. In 1990, Dr. Valentino was awarded a donation of a complete designer VCAD system from the Chief Engineer's Office at the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, valued in excess of $500,000. He then arranged for a donation of new Unix CAD workstations from Prime Computer Corporation in excess of $250,000. Over the years, Dr. Valentino has conducted CAD seminars in the surrounding area. These included WEDTech Corporation in New York City, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, Sperry Corporation, and the Association of Scientists and Engineers for New Americans. Since starting his career at Queensborough, Dr. Valentino has published textbooks including Fortran for Technologists and Engineers and CAD with Computer Vision, both published by Holt, Reinhardt, and Winston, as well as Introduction to Computer Numerical Control, Prentice Hall. The latter quickly became a leading text in the field and was given the prestigious Eugene M. Merchant Textbook Award from the Society of Manufacturing Engineers. The text is now in its 4th edition. Dr. Valentino has recently published a text on parametric CAD technology entitled SolidWorks for Technologists and Engineers from Industrial Press. Dr. Valentino is a member of the American Society for Engineering Education, Sigma Chi, and is a senior member of the Society of Manufacturing Engineers. Dr. Valentino.
I'd like to thank the members of the committee for selecting me to receive the Faculty Excellence Scholarship Award. I would also like to thank the members of the Mechanical Engineering P&B for their support in recommending me for this award. As a faculty member of Queensborough for many years, the driving force and ultimate motivation is teaching the diverse students. Some present great challenges, while others are innately gifted. Either way, the reward is seeing the students succeed in their goals. I'm especially happy to be working in the field of technology, as things change on a regular and continual basis. There is always something new and exciting that appears on the horizon. In order to keep myself up to date with technology that is constantly evolving, I like to find that new technology, learn about it, and then develop it for our students. After the learning and developing phase, I then write a book about the newfound technology so that not only our students, but students everywhere can learn about it. My most recent example of this newfound technology is in the area of parametric computer-aided design drafting. I believe technology will continue to develop more rapidly in the future and will play a more crucial role in improving our lives. Under the leadership of President Marti and Provost Cole, Queensborough Community College has encouraged the concepts of learning and innovation. Two examples of this are the learning communities and the technology academies. I am happy to contribute to the process. In the future, I plan to continue seeking out what's new, learning new concepts, developing new material, and I will continue to write in my field. Once again, I thank you for the honor of being a recipient of this award.
to conclude as only she can and inspire us. Although these books are a hard act to follow.
Thank you. Yes, they are. President Marty's legacy to Queensborough, whenever that occurs, will be in large part, I think, to his intention and his determination to honor faculty contributions. It began with the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning, tenure receptions, Faculty Excellence Awards, and the Distinguished Lecture Series, where even there the Queensborough faculty deliver the spring lecture. And tomorrow, one of our faculty members, Megan Elias, in the History Department, will be the latest in that series. As I look around tonight, I see several members of this audience who were here at this time to receive Faculty Excellence Awards, and I would like them to stand. It is also very moving for the department chairs to have one of our own members of the PNB be the recipient of this award, one of the recipients this year. What characterizes all of them is what makes Queensborough the place that it is. And whether that be faculty in the classroom, the many staff, assistants, the administrators, we all work in concert, and we have one goal in mind, and that is to provide the very best education for our students, but also a supportive and stimulating and yet nourishing environment for them. So thank you to all of you for your collective efforts, and my sincere congratulations on behalf of the faculty for the latest 3 members to be enrolled in this very special society. Thank you.
Incredible body of scholars. Queensborough's looked to for so many things. We get calls all the time from the university, from other systems in the nation, and from different organizations, because we are, I think, are known to have incredible talents, to have incredible generosity. And I'm very proud to be among you and share with you our appreciation to our scholars for this year and the years before. Our faculty symbolize so many things, but they mean extraordinary things to our students. And the other thing that all of our faculty and these award winners have in common is, in fact, their role as teachers. And I appreciate it. I thank you all. This is a wonderful evening, and I hope you will spend some time congratulating our award winners that are current, and perhaps enjoy the evening. I would like to also thank the Office of Academic Affairs, in particular, Olga, Michelle, Paul, Ari. They worked very hard on this. I thank you very much, of course, Karen, who's been our inspiration and anchor in the office on these 3 months. So thank you. Have a wonderful evening, and please spend a little